Fever coach Stephanie White asks for Caitlin Clark's patience. Fever coach Stephanie White asks for Caitlin Clark's patience. Originally appeared on Athlon Sports, Caitlin Clark played in just her third game back on Sunday following a lengthy spell on the sidelines. The Indiana Fever star sat out 5 straight contests due to a lingering groin sprain, but she has been making up for lost time since her return. Clark, however, still struggled with her shot in the Fever's 102-83 blowout win against Paige Bueckers and the Dallas Wings on Sunday. She shot just 4 of 12 from the field and 2 of 7 from beyond the arc for 12 points. Clark's shooting slump extends to before she went down with an injury. In her last 6 games, the 23-year-old has made just 29.5% of her attempts overall. From distance, Clark is shooting just 14.3% on 7 attempts per game. Fever head coach Stephanie White isn't worried, though. This is why the veteran shot caller is asking for Clark's patience as she navigates through this slump. White knows full well that this cold streak has to end sooner or later. I just want her to have a little bit of patience, to give herself a little bit of grace, and to still do the other things that she does so well in the game that affect winning, White said via Chloe Peterson of Indy Star. Because yes, she's an elite shooter. Yes, that's what everybody wants to see. But she makes other winning plays, and she can control those things. And control the things that you can control. Continue to work through the rhythm, the timing, the strength, the endurance, and it's going to come. As White said, Clark brings so much more to the table than just her scoring. This was the case yet again on Sunday as she put on a show with her elite playmaking skills. The reigning WNBA Rookie of the Year dished out 13 dimes in an eye-catching passing clinic. Over the aforementioned 6-game stretch, Clark is averaging 9.3 assists, which demonstrates her ability to still significantly impact the game despite her shooting slump. This story was originally reported by Athlon Sports on June 14, 2025, where it first appeared. The Indiana Fever locker room was quiet, save for the soft hum of reporters outside and the rhythmic clinking of water bottles. A tough loss had just been etched into the stat sheet, and the weight of the WNBA season was pressing hard on everyone inside that space. Rookie sensation Caitlin Clark sat in her locker, legs crossed, still in her game gear, the sheen of effort and expectation evident in her eye. That's when Coach Stephanie White walked over, not as a coach bearing critiques, but as a mentor wielding compassion. "Patience," she said, crouching down to meet Clark's gaze. "I need you to have patience with yourself, with the process, with this journey." It wasn't the first time those words had been spoken in the Fever season, but this time they felt deeper, more personal, more essential. The fire starter meets the furnace. Caitlin Clark entered the WNBA like a meteor, flaming, fast, and impossible to ignore. Coming off a historic college career that shattered records and made highlight reels part of everyday life in Iowa, she arrived in Indianapolis with expectations that felt superhuman. Fans flooded arenas. Cameras followed her every movement. Jerseys sold out in minutes. But professional basketball is not a fairy tale. It's a forge. And the WNBA, it's the furnace. While Clark showed glimpses of brilliance, jaw-dropping passes, logo threes, fearless drives, she also faced double teams, grueling schedules, and seasoned defenders who had been here long before her name rang in headlines. The transition was hard, not just physically, but mentally. And Stephanie White knew it. The coach's perspective, Stephanie White isn't new to pressure. A former WNBA player herself and an experienced coach, White understands the duality of talent and time. She knows that greatness doesn't bloom in a season. It's cultivated over years. That's why, amid media buzz and fan frenzy, she's adopted a grounding role for Clark. "She's not just a player," White said in a recent post-game interview. "She's a person. And right now, she's a young person under one of the biggest spotlights in sports. What she needs more than anything is space to grow and the patience to let herself be a rookie." White isn't asking Clark to shrink. She's asking her to breathe, to take in the lessons, not just the losses, to play the long game, not just the next quarter. All right? So Behind closed doors in practices, White often takes extra time with Clark, breaking down film, walking through defensive schemes, encouraging her to trust her instincts while absorbing the nuances of professional play. The conversations are part basketball, part life coaching. Everyone wants a miracle overnight, White told a team once, but real success? That's brick by brick, layer by layer. And Caitlin's got the foundation. Now, we build. Clark, competitive to her core, doesn't always find it easy. She's used to dominating, dictating tempo, controlling games, but she listens, she learns. She lingers after practice, rewinding plays in her head, replaying every pass she could have made better. And through it all, White is there, not rushing her, not pressuring her, but reminding her that greatness that lasts is never rushed. After the public and the private, to the public eye, Clark is a superstar in waiting. To White, she's a student in motion. Caitlin's going to be one of the all-time greats, White said on a recent podcast. But that doesn't mean we skip the steps. She has to stumble, she has to fall, and yes, she has to be patient, because that's how you build a leader, not just a scorer. White's message to the Fever fans echoes this sentiment. Support her. Don't just cheer when she scores. Cheer when she struggles too. That's part of the journey. The turning point. In a game against a tough rival, Clark had one of her quieter performances. Just 8 points, 5 assists, and more turnovers than she cared to admit. Post-game questions swirled. Critics sharpened their pens. But inside the locker room, White had only one question for Clark. What did you learn tonight? Clark paused. That I don't have to do it all. White smiled. Exactly. It was a moment of clarity, a small crack in the armor of pressure where understanding and self-grace seep through. In my